Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my love with everyone. And I'm cooking chicken curry today. Maybe not your traditional chicken curry, but my version of chicken curry. This is what I like. This is what we like in my house. So we're gonna start out with some veggies. Like we're gonna saute some veggies. So we have some onion, and it's already been chopped, and we're gonna put that in a skillet. And you want your heat to be hot enough to give it a little when you put it in. And we're cooking different things at one time as well. So we're gonna make some green beans, we're gonna make some yams to put into the mixture, and you want to have time to soften those yams before you add them to the skillet. So right now we're also gonna saute some onions and some Conecuh sausage, which is gotta happen. Uh-oh, just in time. We're gonna put some onions and Conecuh sausage in this pan for our green beans because the caramelization on the sausage is just gonna give it an amazing flavor.
So for those who are not from Alabama and are not familiar with Conecuh sausage, hello.
Yes.
Is it an andouille? What kind of sausage is comparable to Conecuh?
Oh, it's no comparison.
You know, it's no comparison. But what kind of sausage can they use? Just
maybe andouille. Maybe andouille because that's a sausage that a lot of people know about. So maybe andouille, but Conecuh is just really a gem from Conecuh County, and it's the most amazing, most flavorful sausage. The casing is delicious. It browns really well. It's just really good. So we're making our onions and Conecuh for the green beans, and we're also going to add in some mushroom. I love bella mushroom, so I add that in as well. And you do want to season your vegetables, not as much with salt, but with Mrs. Dash is what I like, and I would love to have a black-owned seasoning company to push their products into my cooking. But for right now, we're going to use this original season blend, and there's no salt in this, but it gives the vegetables a little kick so that there is a robust taste when you bite in. And I love Mrs. Dash products, so I just season those. And you can't really do too much because there's not salt.
So you are seasoning your onions alone.
I'm seasoning my onions, yes. Yes. And then using salt is kind of like turning the light on in the room so you can see everything. That's what salt does. So I'm just going to use a little bit of coarse kosher salt on those. And in this one as well, just a little bit because it already has that Conecuh sausage in there. And then we're sauteing that. This is for the chicken curry. This is for the green beans. So as we're working that, because we want those flavors to play together, we're now going to add our spinach so that the flavor of the onion can cook into the spinach because we're not meant to live alone, and neither are these guys. We want them all to love each other and share flavor profiles. So we're gonna mix that up. And the reason that I like to add, and it's already chopped, spinach to my recipes is because without it, some of our little kids, they wouldn't wanna just eat like a bowl of spinach, right? So you gotta hide it. And with this, it cooks all the way down to where by the time it's done, you don't even really know it's in there. So now if you remember, we use avocado oil to saute the onions in, but they don't really have any moisture in the skillet. So what I like to do is use chicken broth, if I can find it. Here it is. Maybe we can edit that. We can use chicken broth to add some moisture and give it some flavor. So we add that chicken broth in. And because we're building flavor all the time for chicken curry, we're gonna jump right out, even into the vegetables, we're gonna add that in there.
That seasoning that you're using now?
This is curry powder.
It's curry powder.
Yes, this is curry powder. So we're gonna add the curry even onto the vegetables because we should taste curry in every bite, not just the chicken. So we're gonna let that spend a little time, let them get acquainted. And in the meanwhile, our avocado oil has been heating up, and it is in anticipation for our chicken. Now, I like to use chicken thighs because chicken thighs are so moist. Chicken breasts are bougie, but they're dry. So I don't like chicken breasts. Chicken thighs can be fatty. You do have to spend a lot of time when you crack them open, you wash your meat, and then you chop that fat off, which I've already done and I've already seasoned. One thing I want to add though to share with you guys, I love browning. Browning gives a meat like that amazing caramel color, but it also has some cool flavors as well. This profile is a vegetable base with water, carrot, celery, cabbage, and a lot of people who do like Jamaican or Caribbean cooking, they use browning. That's what gives the oxtails and some of those meats those really brown, that beautiful coloring. You don't really need much. So you just pour that in, and I got my glove on. So I'm mixing that browning on there, and it's gonna be gorgeous. So now the avocado oil, which really tolerates heat well, even though it's smoking, it's okay. And we're gonna put this chicken in there. Now I've seasoned this chicken with a little seasoned salt, some curry powder, garlic powder, onion powder, and it was marinating from last night. So it should be very flavorful. And avocado oil is a great fat, so it is a healthy option for cooking. Now, I found these little tongs on Amazon. I don't like those big tongs that you use to barbecue grill with. These are kind of more like tweezers for food. It's more precise, and you can pick up one piece of meat without grabbing everything. But these are one of my favorite utensils. And you just want to keep flipping the chicken around, and it'll do what it's supposed to do. You really can't go wrong with this chicken. The most important thing about this meal, though, is it has to be in 2 pans. You can't, I know it's convenient to just like do everything together, but you gotta cook the veggies separate, and you gotta cook the chicken separate as you're what? Building the flavor profile. So, we can't forget our mushrooms and onions and sausage over here, and we haven't forgotten those. So what we're gonna do is add the rest of, or a good bit of our chicken broth to that. And put in, thank you, put in these green beans. Now, these are not canned, these are fresh. The difference, if you hadn't really had fresh green beans, is that the fresh green beans have a nuttier taste. They are a little bit nutty, but good, very good. So we're gonna mix those up. Let those get to know each other, and we're gonna add a little bit more of the spices because the green beans had never met the onion powder. I'm gonna get that going and flip our chicken, check on that, make sure that heat is high enough. Because when you start on high heat, you get like this amazing texture on the outside without having to bread the chicken. And as tempting as it is, do not bread your chicken, because when you put everything together, that flour is gonna come straight off and it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a thick mess. You're not gonna like the texture. All right, so you can add some really cool carbs in. You wanna boil some sweet potatoes in advance, because if you cook them in here, which we're not gonna do that, but if you cook them in, they may be too hard by the time the meal is ready, because this is really a quick meal. So you would have wanted to bring your sweet potatoes to a boil, and then once they soften up a little bit, add them all together. For my recipe, you need this little spice pack. Now you can find this in any grocery store on the international food aisle, and it's like a little block. I always want to watch your heat. It's like a little block of flavor of curry. So we're gonna take that out and break that up and add it to our vegetable mixture. Ain't no sense in playing with this curry, and it wasn't really giving me everything I needed with the sprinkle. So I'm gonna just take the top off and keep dashing that in there, because it's not salt. It's okay. Curry is actually good for you, like turmeric. There are some really good health values there. We're gonna add ground ginger to give it a little tang in the background of the onion and the garlic and the curry, of course. The curry is the star. So all of that should be amazing. Oh, and it's cooked down. When it cooks down, you know that you are very close to magic. You want to let that little spice cube like dissolve, and it'll make its own gravy. If you lose some of the moisture, that's okay. You can add a little bit more chicken broth. Felicia, I'm going to get you to help me right here.
Okay.
So now, thank you to my sous chef. Now we have put it all together.
So good.
And you're just going to saute that and let everybody get to know each other. Let all those flavors meet each other. And you also have your green beans and mushrooms and onions and sausage coming to a boil over here. And it's just beautiful to serve this over rice with a little cornbread with some green beans on the side. And so we're going to fix us a plate. All right, that's it, guys. That's my chicken curry. It's not the prettiest, but it is so good, and it's sure to be a family favorite. I forgot to add, if you want a little heat, add some red pepper flakes. That's it. Be for real, for real.
This shit right here, I'm just so good. Please stop recording me so I can eat.
You like it for real?
It's so good.
I'm the person, like, when I'm done cooking and you start eating, I'm like, did you like it? I'm watching the trash can. Did she throw it away? She ain't like it for real.
Thank you. Right here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Cheese at the camera.
Yes.